Hey friends, welcome back. We are going to make spaghetti sauce today. Spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, marinara, pizza sauce, whatever. I use it all the same ingredients. So I filled this brown bag in the freezer, and whenever it gets full, I'm going to make a batch of sauce. So this is the first batch of the year, and last year I just made one big massive one, and it was just too much to do at once. So we're going to take these out. We got cherry tomatoes, slicers, Romas. They all taste good. They give a nice flavor to the sauce. Especially the cherry tomatoes give a little bit of a sweetness to it, and doesn't have that tart acidicness to it. And the bag broke. Yeah, that was fun. So I went around and picked all those up and rinsed them off, got the dirt and dog hair off. And then I scorched the bottom of the pan because, of course I did. So everything's just in this roaster pan instead. And it needs to reduce. So you see all the liquid along the edge? That's what needs to reduce. And it's been blended and mashed up, and now it just needs to sit. So it sat all day and at 350, and then overnight it sat at 200. And now we're adding the herbs. So we got marjoram, rosemary, thyme, sage, oregano, basil, parsley. Everything's here on the screen, so you'll see what we add. And it's all eyeballed. I don't measure anything. The tomatoes aren't measured out anyways, so it's just adding in the amount of each herb that I think will be good. And I'm using the mortar and pestle. At the time I thought I just might need to grind up a few of them and try to get the stems mashed up, because these are all garden herbs that I just topped off my containers with, and it was really hard to get the stems out, so I just smash up what I need to. And then hindsight, whenever I'm done, I'm like, I should have just got out my coffee grinder and just blended these up really finely. Would have been easier, but I was like thinking I don't need to get a big old appliance out for this. I'll just mash up a few things here and there. And then also thinking back on it, it is kind of pointless to do this because I haven't strained the skins and seeds out anyways. So when I do that, the stems will get strained out as well. So, kind of pointless, but we do it anyways. And the last one here is parsley. And this sauce is so good. It's the best sauce ever. And I don't even have to measure anything. Just turns out amazing. That was garlic, scape, and onion that I had in the freezer, and I just thawed it out in the fridge. And giving it a mix, and then blending everything and making a mess on the wall. If you watched the video last year where we made our sauce, I made a huge mess all over the wall, and that was really hard to clean up. This is tomato paste powder that we made ourselves, and then a handful of salt goes in there as well. And the jars here are getting cleaned out because they are new. And so this is later in the day, after it's been simming and reducing even more, after I added the herbs. It's really important to not add your herbs in the beginning with the tomatoes because they will burn and give off this burnt flavor just by being cooked for too long, and so will the garlic. And so the herbs go in closer to the end, way after the tomatoes are reducing. So if you have a food mill, this would be a great time to use it. I don't, so I have to, in order to get the seeds and skins out, I have to strain this way. And so I just smash the strainer. Oh, I'm showing you. So that white bowl will hold the sauce that I'll transfer to it. And that's tomato paste powder we made. In the bowl in the sink is the skins and seeds that I dehydrate and grind up in the coffee grinder to make that powder. And that powder was from last year, so it comes in handy. And so with the strainer, I just shake it to get the juices out and compress it with a spatula until I've gotten everything I can out of it, and then put the seeds and skins aside. And I've gone through the entire batch and done that process. And scraping everything back because it's still very liquidy. It needs to continue reducing again. And so we let it do that, put it on 350, let it do that for a little while. But not too long because I don't want the herbs to burn. And then I'll just, since I have so much tomato paste powder, I will just add my skins and seeds to the compost this year. So to quicken the reducing time on this, I add tomato paste powder to this to help thicken it up and use the excess liquid in there. And I mix it up, and there's a little clump of tomato paste in there. You know, like when you add like flour or cornstarch to something warm and it clumps up? Well, tomato paste powder does that too, and I didn't know. So I get out the blender and blend it up again just to get all those chunks out. Now that it's reduced enough and we're done with that part, we're going to put everything into these jars. A couple quarts, couple pints of sauce, and I forgot to add the lemon juice in. I remember while I'm doing this, like, oh, I forgot to put the lemon juice in first, because you have to add the acidity of citric acid or lemon juice to these. Even though we're pressure canning them, we're still supposed to, according to the manual. And so I just try to leave a little bit of space, because we want 1 inch head space, but I try to leave a little extra space to add the lemon juice in, and then top it off with sauce as needed to get to that 1 inch. And we fill these up until all the sauce is used. For the quart containers, we need 2 tablespoons, and for the pints, we need 1 tablespoon. On this funnel, it has little notches at the bottom that tell you where your headspace is at, if it's 1 inch, ½ inch, or 1/4 inch. And so I just try to see where I'm at and add sauce as needed after the lemon juice has gone in. And we are aiming for 1 inch headspace for these. And then I wipe these down, the rims down 3 times. I got this paper towel here getting the chunks off, because even though I use a funnel, I make a mess, of course. Because that's just what happens when I'm in the kitchen. I end up making a mess of something. Now we go in with paper towel that has vinegar on it, and we do another wipe or 2. We check the rim by running our finger along the top to make sure there's no cracks in the glass, and then the lids and rings go on fingertip tight. Not too tight, not too loose. We want to make sure we have a good seal on everything. It looks like we have 5 quarts. Yeah, and 3 pints. I think I ended up putting 1 quart into the fridge to use this week. And I think I only ended up canning 4, if I remember correctly. I haven't used it yet. It's still in the fridge. So I'm going to use it tomorrow. I think. Plan to. So the pressure cooker here needs water. It's 3 quarts of water, I believe. There's a little line inside the bowl that is like the fill line, and it has to have water in it. So you put the water in first before you add in the jars. And so here's 4 quarts that we're going to put in here, and put the lid on. Follow the pressure canner instructions. Like I got the manual sitting over there. And quarts are 25 minutes. And then we just, I don't think you can see the buttons on the screen there, but it tells you fill jars, warm, and whenever you're, and then it tells you when to put the pressure regulator on and all that. So you just follow the steps. And so now it has come to pressure. You see the little thingy poking up next to the green lock thingy. That means it's got pressure. And now that the 25 minutes of pressure is done, or about to be done, it says cool. Now it says done. There's no steam coming out of that, which blocks you from unlocking it and opening it, so it's like a safety thingy. And then we opened it with the lid facing away from us when we open it, or we, like, the opening faces away from us. And we take these out, and they sit on the counter for 24 hours, and then I'm going to dump this water. It looks like some of the jars leaked a bit before they sealed, which makes me like, okay, if sometimes stuff can leak out of these before they seal, then what was the point in cleaning the rim? Because now stuff is in the way of the seal. So I don't get it. So I don't know. Me and this pressure canner have gone round and round having issues, and it's been really irritating me because I follow the instructions and I follow the manual and push the buttons and whatever, and I still have problems with it reaching pressure and staying there, and I don't understand. Sometimes it will never reach pressure and it will steam all the water out of the inside and never stop. So frustrating. Anyways, I will do a sniff test on these before I use them, just in case. And they've all sealed except for one. So surprise, surprise. That one will go in the fridge, and I will use it as well in the very near future. And then the other ones will go in the pantry after they've sat. Well, at this point they have sat. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll pop up some other videos for you to watch, and feel free to like and subscribe. Bye.